What's up, everybody? Apologies for the 5 minutes late. I think the whole community is getting used to the few minutes late. It's just to fill up the rooms. Welcome to Crypto Banter. I'm Sheldon the Sniper. Welcome to the best crypto YouTube channel that's out there. Not only do we give you the best TA as well as the fundamentals, we've sort of formed a community. We are bringing everything together, and we have also started to bring great education to the to the market. So welcome to the channel that this is for us to start building the strongest community. I actually want everyone to start getting comfy and start understanding what we are starting to build and what we're starting to form together, to know that you can be comfortable in the zone and that we can all speak and we can all learn together and enjoy this good ride together. It's been a crazy journey. These last 2-3 weeks have been absolutely insane, but we are getting a good calm down in the market. And what's the tile today? Was it a fake out? Was it a breakout? Because we did get a strong breakout out of trend from Bitcoin and a lot of the alts as well. So welcome to Crypto Banter. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. Follow myself on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper. Follow Ran on Twitter, Crypto Man Ran. That will give you good updates to anything that's coming new to the channel. As we all know as well, we got the new coin panel system that's with us as well. And we got some exciting news that for me to go through it every day, what it is going to do is going to start structuring us to learn to start trading together, to get you into a habit of understanding where to put your stop losses, your take profits, how to enter the market, these sort of things. It's just, it is going to take me a little bit of time to go through each and every trade on that. So what we are starting to do is we are forming a strong Discord channel for everyone, for the coin panel guys, and that's where every trade is going to be set up in that, so we can free up a bit of time. I don't have to over exaggerate. This show is for us to get into it straight away, not take too much time, and just to get into trades, make some money, understand and learn. So welcome guys. Another good thing also to subscribe, we have the Banter bags. At 500,000 subscribers, we are going to be giving away the Banter bags. I think the last one we're giving out between $500 to $700,000, and we will be giving that out as well as the Sniper School. So what did we do yesterday? We've started this new thing as well, where we are selecting 20 people every week to be joining me on a 1-hour session, a private session, where you guys can actually unmute yourself. You can actually have a chat with us, and we actually get more onto the personal terms, and we go through some key little structure things to get you going. And it's also just to show you what the school's actually going to be. And yesterday was the first one that we did. I think it was amazing, and it made me so happy, guys. End of the day, educating is my passion. I love doing it. I love teaching. And yesterday just reminded me of that. And it just excites me so much for that school. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, follow us, and we'll be selecting all the winners for the Sniper School as well as the private sessions that are on Monday. Okay, so let's get going with everything. So firstly, yesterday we were speaking in the market that we are in a good cool down stage in the market, and we are starting to get that strong push to the upward side. We're looking at some good growth coming through in this week. We did say a small pullback was coming, and it didn't end up coming yesterday. It actually ended up coming early hours this morning. So it started coming through now, and now we are getting to all those entry zones that we've been speaking about in the market. So what is a key thing to understand is that we have started breaking some bullish trends. So we're starting to get that good indication that the market's starting to relax a bit. And what's important to understand with Bitcoin, which I'm going to start with today, is since this whole dump happened, so we already know that the market cycle, we have a big dump off, we then have a relaxation phase where they accumulate for the next move. Remember, whales can't just come in and just bounce the market straight back up, because the retail guys, the normal people on the street, are going to sell into their pump. So it has to be done quite secretly, and this is why we get these calm down stages, because every big dip that comes down in the market is the big guys that are buying up. They can't just buy and continue buying, because it will send the price up quickly, and then everyone will sell into that and they lose money. End of the day, they are the smarter ones in the market, and these are the guys that we want to be trading with, not against. They have more capital, they're bigger than us, so we need to be understanding how their sort of system works and how they trading this actual market. And that's where the importance of this phase was, which was our farming stage there, where we had good opportunities to make some coins, but now we're getting to that point where it's time to be getting strong in the market again, and just understanding that let's put our stop losses in. We know the key structure. We're starting to form some really good structure now with the charts. And I am never afraid to trade a market where I have structure, because firstly, what I do is when I'm entering a trade or I'm getting into any coin, what's my first thing? What's my loss? Where's my stop loss? That's my first scenario. Then where is a TP point or a certain point where I need to move that stop loss to entry to make sure that that trade is for free? So it's all a little system. And what is nice now is we are starting to get really strong structure with the charts. And what I mean by that is if we take a clear support trend line over there, the fact that we are bouncing perfectly on these trend lines is really good. It's showing us that we are catching a good momentum trend. And with that, we cannot be afraid to get back into the market because we have an exit strategy if something goes terribly wrong. And if we do start dropping these certain levels, Bitcoin can make its way down to the levels, so to much lower levels. So where we are in the market, remember, we are not saying it's a bull market or it's a bear market right now. We are trading the market and we have structure to do it. Not predicting this cycle and where we are right now. It's a non-prediction. No one can actually predict. We can just trade it as we go. So what is happening with Bitcoin now is we have finally got that high point, which is good. So we finally got that strong breakout, which came, I think, yesterday afternoon, which was good. So now we have got that good high in play, and now we're coming down to test these zones. So we're not unaware of that a pullback was coming. It didn't happen yesterday, but it happened now through to today. And we knew it was coming because we saw that the higher time frame RSIs were getting high up to the top. So we could see that the 4-hour needed some time to play down. So what are we looking at today is it's preparation now to start laddering into a lot of these coins, which I'll go through to all of them now. But it is going to be a slow day. It's not going to be a crazy red day. It's sort of going to hover in these zones where it's going to, we can see already some of the coins are doing -4, -6. It's going to hover in these sort of ranges. But yesterday, the coins were doing +12, +18. So yes, we're having small pullbacks, but remember, the waves going up are bigger than the waves coming down. So what I like to see now is that we are starting to form these sort of stairs. And this is showing us, remember, we don't want price to grow too fast. If it grows too fast, it doesn't last. That's a simplicity. Rudo taught me that. And this is why it's important to understand that it's good that we are starting to slow down and starting to step up little bit by little bit by little bit. What's this doing? It's creating confidence in the market, and we're starting to get good gradual growth rather than this really choppy market. We could see over the weekend, in the last few weeks that we played out, that this market has been so choppy and so up and down. And now we're getting to that little bit of slower growth stage, which is good. So with Bitcoin now, we said yesterday we are going to have a pullback down between the $35,000, $36,000 level. That's where we see us coming down and testing the lower time frame supports. So we could see that Bitcoin has all of these supports that are playing in over here. And we also know that for the last 2-3 weeks, we had a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So we are trailing upwards, which is good. Now we're coming down to test support again to make another higher low. And now this is where we want to be buying in the markets. We want to be buying a higher high break, a retest down. This is the zones we want to be getting back into the market. Now, when we do get back into the market, we know that we are making higher lows every time. So the simplicity, like we said yesterday, of understanding where the stop loss goes is straight under the previous lows. So if you are laddering in yesterday, great. And if you're laddering in today, great. We know where the stop loss should be going. So starting with Bitcoin, stop loss territory, the buys, I still think will hover a little bit in the zone, but the breakout can come at any point. Yesterday was an exciting day. We started getting bullish. And for the first time in a while, we started getting really, really strong momentum behind the market. So that's showing that we're getting to a phase now where a nice, strong push to the upward side is expected. We are always prepping for the worst, but right now I'm in the market and I'm happy. And what we are doing is Bitcoin is now coming down to this buy zone. And it's quite simple. Remember, the simple strategy is we have two highs. Very simple to say we are tracking that momentum down. So this shows me that for the next 3-4 hours, we can hover in this zone and then start getting the push out later on this evening. So I'm making sure that I'm getting good buys in this zone. So with Bitcoin, anywhere 35,000 to the 36,200 in the zone is a good zone for me, getting back that 50% that we got stopped at. And we're knowing that the stop loss territory is going to be sitting at around the $34,000 level, which means we're running at about a 7-8% risk. But remember that this move is looking to take us to the 48,000 to the 50,000 mark. So our percentage-wise is we are risking 7 to 8% of our capital for 40 to a 50% gain. So it's a 1-to-5 risk reward ratio with Bitcoin right now. So that's good, knowing that we know the exits and we know the points. And the next thing that I do want to say, though, is when Bitcoin, if we are entering in the zone and we're building up, when Bitcoin gets back above $38,000 to $39,000, we need to be crunching that stop loss up to this low that we are making now. So what I mean by that is we are currently forming this downwards wedge, and we can see that we are falling down. The breakout of this means that we now should start, okay, how can I put it? Bullish momentum to the upward side. We should start now making good ground to at least the $40,000, $42,000 level, which means that this should be the low that's in. So what I mean by that is when we get to $38,000, $39,000, moving my stop loss to 35,500 is my next step. Now I've crunched down my 8% risk to 4% risk or 3% risk, but my reward is still looking at 40%. You see how now I've changed my risk to reward ratio from 1-to-5 to 1-to-10. And you can see how we start looking at that. So Bitcoin is still looking really good. I'm happy we did get this pullback. We can see the big growth is a lot smaller than the pullback that has happened. So that's good. We are trailing upwards and we're just bouncing on support. So we're looking good there. So Bitcoin, I'm happy. Going through quickly, the dominance. Dominance is exciting me right now, guys. Dominance is getting to a point where it's looking really weak. And we can see how yesterday the alt started jumping quickly. And we are actually at that point where we're making lower lows in dominance. So this right shoulder that's playing out here, remember, we did have it a bit higher, and there's no strong momentum coming through in the dominance to say that dominance has reversed, and now we're on the Bitcoin time. Right now, it's still showing us that alts are really, really deadly, and we can see that today because with a lot of the alts, yesterday some of them did bigger, so don't be expected to see that Link's got a 6% down today. It did 18% yesterday. So that's okay to know that we're getting a 20-30% pullback from the wave we had yesterday. But if you have a look at Bitcoin, 2% and Ethereum 3%, DOT 3%, there's not massive differences between the two. There is a difference, but not hugely different to what we've seen now in the last few weeks. So that's good. So we're starting to see now that dominance is getting to that point where dominance is weak, guys, which means that alts are still the ones that are going to bounce quicker from this whole big dump that we've had in the market. They're going to be the ones that are going to be pulling up faster. And we know that as well because the alts dumped a hell of a lot quick. They took much bigger knocks than what Bitcoin did. So at least we got a good understanding over there. And what's nice is, guys, is all the charts are showing me the same thing. And we can see this clearly now with, this is the total. And this is the total market cap of the crypto. So in order to understand that, yes, we can chart the alts and chart Bitcoin, but to chart the whole market cap in general is a great sign because we can see we have broken that strong downwards trend that we have had. We're getting the higher high, which is really good. Here previously, we chased the high. We didn't make it. Now we're getting the higher highs at these points, and that's the next resistance. So the total market cap is trailing upwards. What did it do perfect over here? It literally came down. When we finally broke this trend, there's the previous resistance. Look how we literally broke through and we came and tested that resistance perfect. That's a RS flip, turning resistance into support. Breakout, test, and now going up. So now we know dominance is looking weak. We know that the total market cap is looking strong. And we see Bitcoin is looking good. And all that it's done is come and test support levels. So the market is still looking really good for this week. And we mustn't be scared to understand that one day we're going to have 20% growth in the market, and then the next day we're going to have 6% down in the market. Then the next day we're going to have 20% up. So these are the little things that we need to just get used to in this cycle. But the main thing is I'm in the market, and I know that these lows on any of the coins is my stop loss territory, because end of the day, if Bitcoin breaks those levels, it means Bitcoin can go to $20,000. Which means we will make sure that we are in dollars. Now, to clarify before I get into the alts quickly, when I'm setting these stop losses now, guys, on any of these coins, I'm setting them up with at least 80% of my portfolio. Because why must I, we've been running off the 50%. That's great. That was a farming opportunity for us. But this is such, and we put it there yesterday, that we have bottomed. Guys, if this is the bullish scenario and Bitcoin's going to go back to 50,000, 48,000, that was the bottom. We cannot make another lower low than what we have had in the market, which means that is a key level to make sure that we free up a lot of dollars if we break that point. So I'm at least, with my stop losses, I'm at least doing 70, 80% of my capital is going to be set under those stop losses. I'm going to be protective now. I don't know to say that this market is just completely bullish and we're going to rebound. It is very possible Bitcoin can go back down to lower levels. And I'd love, I'm sure a lot of you would have loved that when we had the big dump in the market, you had 80% of your money to go buy the bottom. And I think that's the sort of strategy we need to count into that. So Bitcoin's good. Everything's looking good. So looking at Ethereum now. So Ethereum had a really strong push yesterday. It's looking really bullish. And we had these sort of zones. And I see we're starting to react quite quickly to them, bouncing off these supports over here. So what we did say that between $2,400, $2,500, $2,460 in that sort of regions where we want to stock up. The problem is Ethereum's looking really bullish. So now we get into that point where my range is lifting a little bit higher. I still feel there's a possibility we can come to the lower range, but in that zone this is where I'm starting to ladder in on my Ethereum, and I know the importance of this previous low. So now between Ethereum, today's going to be a slow day. Ladder in and start buying into the market, but always keep a little bit more in case we start coming a little bit lower down, because it definitely can. So my range is still sitting between 2,400 to 2,550. So it's a little bit higher in that zone now. And my stop loss is still sitting at the 2,250 zone. So for the guys that are even on Coin Panel, I know we're going to be launching this later on today to make sure, but listen to when I'm saying these things so you understand I'm buying in this range. There's my stop loss. And remember, I still see Ethereum making its way up to the 3,400. It's a little bit lower now. I'll be working on it this morning to $3,800 move. So same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum, we're currently looking to risk about 8% of our portfolio. And obviously the gains, we're looking at between 30 to 46%. But when Ethereum breaks through this resistance point, this stop loss of mine that's sitting over here will move under the low that we have just made. So remember the simplicity of when we come down, we make a higher low, we test support, and then we make a higher high all of a sudden. That's the importance to say that we shouldn't make any lower lows. So now I take that stop loss that we had at 2,250 and I move that stop loss to 2,450. And the same thing as we progress. We make our way up, we shoot our way up. This is the strategy we're going to be using, guys. And we're going to be guiding it as we go. And we're going to make sure that we make good money back from what the market has taken from us. So right now, simplify it, 2,450 to the 2,550. That's my stock up zone on Ethereum. Could possibly go to, no, I don't see 2,400, 2,450, 2,550. Stop loss at 2,250 for Ethereum. And remember, we're looking at a good 40 to 50% growth coming through this week. As I'm about to go into the alts, I just want to show you guys that the dominance for Ethereum is looking strong. We have broken trend now, we have tested. So Ethereum is going to be one of the ones that are going to bounce out this quite strongly. So it's very important to make sure that a good portion of the capital is sitting in, obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and obviously the good alts, which we're going to go through next. So that is a good sign. Now, DOT. You can see from yesterday, guys, these were all the buy zones, and I'm just going to go through them now as we progress. These are all the buy zones that we were talking about yesterday. We've literally just touched the top of these zones. And same thing with DOT now. DOT still in the zone is a really good buy zone. It's a really good ladder in zone because we know the low of where the stop loss is. So DOT anywhere between $21 to $22, $22.2 in that region is a good stock up zone for DOT. We saw DOT started accelerating. Yesterday when we spoke, we were breaking out of that trend. And we can see how strongly we're starting to accelerate when the market really turns bullish. So DOT is one of my favorites now that I'm laddering in quite strong. And we obviously know the fundamentals are great there. So between $21, $22.2 in that region is my buy zone. And my stop loss is sitting at $19, which means I do have a 10% risk. But the difference with DOTs as well is our risk to reward is looking to take us to 35 to 37, which is our take profit zone. And looking percentage wise from where we're sitting, that takes us 65, 78. So the risk is a little bit higher than Ethereum and Bitcoin, but obviously our gains are a hell of a lot higher as well. And the same thing as we progress. When DOT gets above $25, I move that stop loss right under. I minimize my risk to 3%, which means my risk to reward ratio shrinks completely. And then obviously I will start laddering as we go. So it's very important to be here every day, guys, so we can go through together. Now, the good one where we are bouncing perfect, and this is great in the buy zone now, is ADA. So ADA is really, yesterday we were talking about we need to break out of that trend. So I was saying, let's just wait till we get the breakout. And today we've gotten the breakout of the trend. So with ADA, I'm very happy where we're sitting right now. I'm laddering currently now. And after the show, I'm putting in some more. Definitely ADA. I'm still very bullish on ADA. And what's nice is a stop loss zone at $1.5. So it's the same thing. It's a 10% risk but remember the gains as well. Is taking us to those highs. Now, the difference is so many of the other coins have pulled back so much in the market. ADA has, but it's recovered very, very quickly. So I got a feeling we're going to smash that all-time high in the next week or two. Let's see as it goes, but we will prep for the worst scenario for now to take us just to go test that imbalance zone, which is 30 to 44%. Now, the same thing with this, when ADA starts to break up, so what I'm setting as my sort of resistance now is the 1.84 cents. And what I mean by that is when we get this bounce, I'm laddering in now. When we break that higher high and we continue, I'm making sure that I'm moving my stop loss from there. I'm moving it inside that pennant, which means I will then move my stop loss to $1.62. Now, all of a sudden, I'm shrinking down that risk to reward ratio, and I'm making sure that I'm minimizing my risk and making sure that I have a lot of maximum growth. Now, BNB is looking good. You know, we had a perfect RS switch over here. I had the zone. It was a little bit higher. There we go. So we are still in the good buy zone for BNB. So my stock up zones, $320 to the $350 region is my zones. And my stop loss is at 302 to 305. That's where my stop loss is. Now, same thing. As we progress, we make our way up in the markets. I'm going to be moving that stop loss, shrinking it down, making sure that we're risking minimal in the market. So BNB is a good one to buy now in the zone as much as ADA. And obviously looking at the two zones, I have two zones for BNB, two sets of imbalance. The first one will take us between 35 and 50%, which is a good 1 to 6 reverse to reward ratio. And obviously we got the next higher imbalance zone, which is 70 to the 90% sort of region. And that makes a 9 to 10 risk to reward ratio. So that's good risk to reward ratios, guys. It means we're risking 10% for the gain of 100%, which is really, really good. As long as we understand that the importance of the stop loss, make sure you guys have stop losses here. We are not going to get caught from anything that happens crazy in the market. We're going to make sure that we are always protected. So stop loss, $305, and buy zone, $320 to $350 for BNB. Having a look at Link, I'm very happy with Link. The only thing is with Link is we have got rejected with that zone. So I want this clean breakout. So same with Link. It's very simple. They're all showing me the same thing. The buys with Link is good in the zone between 28.5 to the 29.5 to the $30 region. Anywhere in this region is a good buy zone, knowing that this is my previous low. My stop loss must be at 25.5 now. And same thing, the bullish breakout of this trend over here, I will crunch my stop loss up to that zone, minimizing that and looking at the growth from where we are with Link now to the zones. 44% to 65% in that zone, which is good. Solana, so I know we did go through a lot of these yesterday, guys, but it's important now that we got the pullback in the zones. We are lucky to be sitting here and we're getting the pullback live like this so that I can be guiding you through these trades as we progress. Now, if we have a look at Solana also really, really good. 29.5, $31, 31.5, anywhere in the zone. It's a RS flip. The only thing is we have tested these support zones on a lot of the coins right now. So at any point, the market can turn bullish, and it can turn bullish very, very quickly. So we are laddering in on these zones and understand those little trend lines that I've put in for the shorter time frames are important buys of the breakout. So Solana's looking good, and same with the stop loss. 27.5 is my stop loss, and as we progress, we will then move it upwards. Kusama, looking bullish, looking really, really bullish. So I hope you guys got the buy yesterday. We were talking about Kusama in that zone. Problem is now it's out of the buy zone. So Kusama is not a buy right now unless we can get it back at 320 to the 340 sort of dollar level. That's definitely for Kusama. What I do like about Kusama is there's a lot of growth to still come with Kusama. So if you did get in yesterday, that's great. And a stop loss update for you is to put it at $305 for your stop loss under this previous little wick over here. That's a good stop loss for Kusama. And remember, our targets are taking us all the way to $530 to $580. So that is a good. If you did get the bars, I'll even take it from where we are now, a good 40 to 60% to come from where we are now as a minimum. Uni in bar zone. Uni is looking good. Beautiful chart, beautiful setup. So anywhere now, $25, $27, great buy on Uni. And we know that our stop loss territory is at 23.5 as we progress and we make the next higher high. We will then crunch that up to at least a 3-4% risk. And as we progress, we will make sure that we make these trades all for free. VET as well, Vet's looking bullish, a little bit out of buy zone now, so it's not a buy just yet. I hope you guys did get it yesterday. Stop loss update for you all is 10 cents still. 10 cents is still a good stop loss update. As we progress, we will obviously be lifting that up to the upward side. Now, the other ones that I want to add in now, which is looking good, is Matic. We know the importance of Matic and how strong this coin is reacting. You know, we had this huge dump in the market, and look how quickly it reacted. So we know this coin is hot, and we know that it's moving very, very quickly. And now we've got into a good cool down stage, which means it's prepping for the next move. Now, if we're seeing the whole market turning bullish, then obviously we know the next move can definitely be Matic turning strongly to the upward side. And we have a good structured zone to know that where our stop loss should be in play. So Matic now 1.7 cents to obviously the 1.85 cents is a good stock up zone for Matic. And right now stop loss will be sitting at $1.5 dollars. And when we start progressing upwards, we will obviously crunch that up. So Matic is one of my favorites today to be getting into the market. I see it reacting strong. It didn't do much of what the other coins did yesterday, which is good. It means we're catching one that's running a bit behind, which means that random explosion just comes out of nowhere. And as a minimal target from Matic, I see us making our way to the $2.3, $2.6 region as the first target. And where we are even now, it's a good 27 to 40% as the minimum. We can obviously break the all-time highs and take that a hell of a lot further. And the same thing with Theta. Theta, I'm happy with. We are about to break trend with Theta. I see my thing is ringing here. There we go. So Theta is also a really, really good one. So we came down, we test support, but we are about to break this trend line over here, which is important to understand that the breakout of this is when volume comes in and we really start to move. We know we got the main launch coming. We know at some point, some sort of hype is going to come into Theta. It's been quiet for months now. I think it's time for Theta to run. So I'm definitely stocking up over here. I am giving a larger stop loss for now to give it its room. So anywhere of these buy zones between 6.8 to the 7.2, 7.3 region where we're more or less sitting now, because we had that bounce. Let me just move this up. There we go. So any of these zones is good buys. Obviously, the break of the trend is when we know volume is going to be coming in. It's crazy how these trend lines show you that something's about to happen on a coin, and then all of a sudden news comes out of nowhere, and we've got fundamentals behind it as well. So we can already, it's just sort of why I love TA so much, because it gets that emotion out of the market. It makes me not fall in love with coins. It makes me sort of trade it as it comes. So with Theta, in the zone's a good buy. Remember, 6.8, 7.3 is a good buy zone, but my stop loss is going to be sitting at $6. And when we get the break out of this and we get the push of that high is when I'm going to be crunching my stop loss up to entry as we get going. So I'm very excited to have that coin panel set up on Discord because the Twitter is also running with everything else. And I want to make sure we have constant updates on all of these trades that are moving. When those stop loss are moving up, please be sure that I am doing these videos every day. And after this call, I am going to be updating on all the calls that I gave you now. As we start progressing, to give these little videos to know that we're moving stop losses up, we're moving these zones up as we progress. Guys, just understand something that where we are in the market now, we have to trade it a little bit more short term. Even if you're an investor and that, you know, if you really want to hold them for the next year, 2 years, buy that shopping list, trade those coins. They're going to make you a lot of money in the next year, 2 years. But if you're a swing trader, we're going to have to just get a little bit more active for a little while until the markets are really bullish in a sense. Then we sit back at the bottom. We've got entries right at the bottom and we enjoy the ride where we're only going to trade every 2-3 days or once a week or twice a week. But for now, we have to trade it as we move. And I hope you guys are learning the skills of just stop loss, all these zones. Make sure you have that stuff in. So I am putting a $6 stop loss for Theta, and obviously the growth that I see is the next push for us getting us to $11 to $12. So that is a good, let's have a look percentage wise from where we're sitting now, even 50 to 70% trade coming up over there. So whole understanding of the market is we needed the pullback in the market. We needed a small pullback in the market, test support and start moving upwards. We know the importance of the important levels that will turn this whole market bearish. So let's not be scared now. Let's trade the damn market. We know what we need to do if things go south. We've got our stop losses in place and it's very structured stop losses. But we also know that through this whole big move from Bitcoin, we have so much imbalance sitting at the upward side. We are getting that cool down stage we need. But there is so much imbalance sitting in this zone for Bitcoin that is taking us between $50,000 and $56,000. Now, we even know that when we had the previous pullback in the market, there was huge imbalance that was sitting in these areas over here. And you see what happens. The price eventually comes there. And look how much imbalance is sitting in these areas over here. So now we're getting this cool down stage, but this is that Bart Simpson we were talking about. This was that whole system to say that Bitcoin, fast acceleration to the upward side. We then make the hair. So let's see, we select it. We go up. We make the hair. We come down. We make the eyebrow. And then we start this gradual growth. Not this. That's not how the market's going to react to this. It's going to start this. Start that little gradual growth as we start moving. Now we can see that that's what we're looking for with Bitcoin. We've got a beautiful trend. We know where stop losses should be. What's dominance looking at doing? Dominance is looking at collapsing and completely going and even smashing those previous lows again. It's looking weak. There's no higher high there. There's nothing that's showing us that dominance is reversed and it's fully to the upward side. So we know Bitcoin's going to gradually make its way up. We know dominance is going to come down, which means the alts are the ones that are going to recover quite quickly from this. We'll see if we're going to get to the highs that we got, but we know we got 50 to 80 to 100% trades coming out of the markets. And then we will have the alarm bells to say, okay, Bitcoin's not getting there just yet. Because Bitcoin's got to get all the way to 55 to 60,000 again to reverse what has just happened. And the first level obviously is 48,000 to the $52,000, $53,000 level. Let's see as we get there. So let's trade that move. And once we're done with that move, we can then obviously look at the next move to come. So guys, I'm going to keep it quite short today. 30 minutes is good. Let's keep trading every day. Let's keep learning every day. Follow us on Twitter. Follow all the channels. I am going to be posting the Discord thing on my Twitter, so we can make sure we're all updated with that. We've got some cool features that are in there as well. We've got a sniper mode that's in Coin Panel. We've got the dark mode, so to make sure that your charts can look like this as well. So we've got cool little things that we are starting to form and build on Coin Panel as well, which is going to keep us all strong together with everything. And we don't have a 4 o'clock show today. Ran is not feeling too good today. And obviously we know Freddie is going through quite a bit at the moment. So there is no 4 o'clock show today. I will be here every day though as we progress, and I will be keeping you guys updated on anything big that happens in the market. I am always here, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all later.